Fires a long three. Yes!
Ever since I seen he got game, I thought he couldn't do no wrong.
And here's Allen. 4-3. Got it.
Keep going, Jesus.
Williams, quick crossover. Kicks it out. Johnson for three. Puts it in. James drives. Offensive foul. He's fouled out of the game. First time since 2008. Bosch looking. James gets free. Knocked away by Livingston. Back to James. And the Nets have swept the season series.
Nets Heat Game 1 in the 5th playoff meeting for future Hall of Famers Paul Pierce and LeBron James. Their head-to-head series tied at 2-2. The first half dominated by the Miami Heat in terms of points in the paint, 26-10, and here drawing the attention of Darren Williams and then cutting back doors, Mario Chalmers.
Yeah, it was the story of the night, you know, the Heat driving the ball to the basket, getting easy points in the paint.
Like that from Ray Allen. He was heard from in Game 1. We've got the stats to prove it in a moment. Kevin Garnett here with a hard screen on Ray Allen. Was that dirty, Rick?
No, old friends reconnecting.
No love lost at this point between KG and Ray. He's no longer wearing the same jersey. And a historic basket for LeBron James. Right there becoming the youngest player to 4,000 postseason points and 8th in NBA history. Brooklyn hanging around. Joe Johnson with a 3, then Darren Williams with a buzzer beater.
Yeah, Darren, you know, it was a little bit of fool's goal there at the end of the half. He cuts it to 3 points, but that was just not a sign of things to come.
Third quarter, and it's Chalmers to Bosch.
Well, this was in the paint. Some 52 points of it. Worked. Couldn't do anything about it.
And then LeBron James, watch this, working against Sean Livingston. You want to talk about a mismatch, and LeBron James just bum rushes Brooklyn, part of an 18-5 run. Miami up 14, and the King pounding his chest.
Yeah, and you started to see the legs start to go with Brooklyn. They couldn't get rebounds, couldn't get the 50-50 balls. They were a little bit weary.
But they did get a bank shot 3 from Darren Williams at the end of the third quarter. And here is Kevin Garnett. Guys and girls, he was scoreless in a playoff game for the first time in 139 appearances. Joe Johnson, Darren Williams, Paul Pierce all sat out the entire fourth quarter. And here is Chris Anderson rejecting Mason Plumlee.
Chris Anderson with a lot of activity in the paint on the defensive end, let alone the offense.
Now he goes down here. He would limp to the locker room with a right knee contusion. X-rays were negative. Ray Allen drops a 3, and his teammate LeBron James absolutely loving it.
Ever since I seen he got game, I thought he couldn't do no wrong. Keep going, Jesus.
Now, Jesus Shuttlesworth, but Jesus.
Yes, I've recruited that young man to Tech U once.
LeBron James one more. He had 22. And the Heat win Game 1, 107-86. So they lead this best-of-7 series, 1-0. Miami snaps a 4-game losing streak to Brooklyn. Miami scores 107 after averaging 94 against Brooklyn in the regular season. The Nets are now 1-9 against Miami all-time in playoff games. And Rachel Nichols filed this report from Miami.
LeBron, you are now the youngest ever to reach 4,000 playoff points, but you also got the win in Game 1. I can guess which one was more important to you tonight.
You definitely know which one was more important, Rachel, and it was great that we was able to come out the way we did after being off 8 days. We got a lot of work in. You know, we had 8 days off from not playing a basketball game, but Spo got us in the gym. Ourselves got each other in the gym. We held each other accountable throughout the layoff, and it proved tonight.
We have a new MVP, but you know, when you talk about the best players in the world, he's 1A, 1B, you know, with Durant. So when he gets in the post, you know, he can cause a problem because of his strength and his IQ. He knows how, you know, if someone doubles, he knows who the open guy is. So we just got to make it a little tougher on him.
You guys got asked the 4-0 question so many times in the last few days. Why didn't it ultimately seem to matter with you guys at all? Especially after you'd beaten everybody else.
Well, it does matter. I mean, it's not something that you can just totally brush off. You know, I said it a couple days ago. It depends on what side you're on. We would say it doesn't matter. They're saying it does matter. They still have an opportunity to do what they came to do, and we have to do whatever we have to do in the next 2 days to make sure they don't.
I mean, you got to think about if you're a competitor and you keep hearing that over and over, and you got time to rest and sit back and watch the team and continue to hear that. You got to think competitive juices is going to just going to meet that, and I just thought, you know, with that being, you know, kind of fire or gasoline on the fire, you know, they came out, they won at home like they were supposed to. Now it's our job to try to steal one in game 2. But, we got to do it with some aggression. We got to do it with, putting them on their heels. And I feel like attacking them a little more than we did tonight.
Game 2 coming up Thursday night, but points in the paint was the story in Game 1 as the Heat shoot 56.8%. It was 52-28 in terms of their advantage in points in the paint, and the percentage of their points in the paint, almost 62%. Stu, what was their formula for success in terms of getting all that action in the paint?
Well, there were a few things. One is there was no rest for the weary, and they caught the Brooklyn Nets at a time where they just finished a very tough game, a tough 7-game series. And then add on to that, Miami's ball movement the entire game from side to side wears on a defensive team's legs. But the real story in the game was the points in the paint. And LeBron began the game. Here you can see him in the post. All 5 players from the Nets focus exclusively on LeBron. And what do you get? You get the back cut, in the pass for the easy bucket. Once again, they're focused here now on Dwayne Wade. All 5 guys not seeing their man, only seeing Dwayne Wade. LeBron takes advantage with a quick cut down the lane. And then, again, Miami consistently got in the lane just on drives, and LeBron switches the tables, and he takes a back cut, into the lane for an easy bucket. And that was really the story of the game and the 52 points in the paint.
Miami made 9 of 23 threes, 6 of 11 combined from Ray Allen and Shane Battier. Battier got the start, barely played in the Charlotte series, got the start for Udonis Haslem. But take us through some of these threes they got tonight.
Well, not only did they get threes, they got uncontested threes. And that leads to high shooting percentage. In the case of Shane Battier here, LeBron James is the man with the ball. Shane was on the bench in the first series. But C-man, C-ball is usually easier to do when that man is not LeBron James with the ball, but he found Shane Battier for a wide-open 3. Same thing. Everyone's attention is on LeBron. Dwayne makes a sharp cut. Chris Paul's the third guy in this big 3, could have shot that. No greed, no panic. Moved the ball onto the best guy, happened to be Shane Battier, knocks it down. Now, everyone knows Ray Allen can shoot. Good contest here by Blatch. Doesn't panic, kicks it over, but Blatch loses Ray Allen. How do you lose Ray Allen? He's going to find a way. Now, look how far Ray runs to get this shot. Constant movement. Teammates know if Jesus Shuttlesworth is on the floor, chances if you get the ball in his hands, like LeBron says, he can do no wrong.
Jesus averaged 3.3 on 26% shooting against the Charlotte Bobcats. 19 made 6 of 10 shots in Game 1 against the Brooklyn Nets.